Happy Halloween, audience dudes!
Hey, this is Dave.
And Brian.
This is our total wrap-up video for Halloween Horror Nights 23 in Orlando. Now, if you watch the first part, well, this is the second part, but it's also an overall review. If you watch the first part, you're like, okay, that was in the hotel room. The second night would be still in the hotel room. Well, not really, because what happened is I shot the Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure, and I shot almost all of it before I got busted, and they made me delete all the files. So I had them on the memory card from the digital SLR that we've been renting, and I know don't worry, this isn't a long explanation. I'm almost done. Basically, I spent several hours that night trying to recover the files. Then we had to leave. Then I had just recently moved, and it got a little delayed. Yeah. But you can see we have this awesome Halloween background for you guys.
I don't know. It just looks like a green sheet.
Oh. Thanks for ruining it for everybody.
That's what I do.
I don't know how many of you are watching who haven't gone to Halloween Horror Nights 23 in Orlando this year, but for the few of you, this is also for those who have gone, who haven't gone. But I might try to do some stuff in the background with the 3D glasses.
Cool.
What?
What?
You threw them away?
Yes,
no,
I sure did.
You're supposed to keep them. And if you haven't gone to Halloween Horror Nights 23 in Universal Orlando, which I keep saying, don't I? Save these.
Yeah. Besides, it's a cool little souvenir of,
Yeah, I mean, they're free.
Yeah. They won't let you keep the 3D glasses on the 3D rides.
Of course.
Those are a little bit better made. Now, if you do go to Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando this year, listen to me clearly and carefully. Go to the Walking Dead house first. That is by far the busiest house in the park. Now, maybe we were unlucky, but the 2 nights we were there, the park was packed. And everybody wanted to go see the Walking Dead house. We got lucky. We went there right at 7 o'clock when the park opened.
It's actually 6:30, but we got there a little bit later.
Yeah, it was 10-minute line.
I think it was like 15, but it was very short. Well, here we are in the first house of the evening. I'm trying to shoot with the 70D, and we'll see how it works. Okay. It's rental. I haven't really had a lot of time to play with it. So now we're to Brian.
All right, we're in line for The Walking Dead. This is one of the main houses this year. Last night, this had a 75-minute wait at the end of the night. Right now, we got lucky. We're getting pretty close. The wait line is like 10 minutes. We're going to be going from Woodbury to a derelict prison, and zombies could trap us anywhere.
The Daleks are here, you said?
What?
The Daleks are here?
The Daleks are here. All right, well, we're not that close, but we're getting there.
Part of the Parade of Terror. There's a line. We'll never make it, man.
Oh, yeah. They're going to kick us out before we get in the house. What are we going to do?
When we came back 2 hours later, 60-minute line. When we came back, and when we were going through the line, it extended out to an 80-minute line. When we came out of the house an hour and a half later, it was a 75-minute line. And the night before that, it was a 75-minute line, and it was like that all night long.
Now, we've been really lucky in 2010 and 2011, and we've never really had to wait very long for a line.
Yeah.
This was like, it makes you want to buy an express pass, which we might do next year.
Yeah, like even one of the guys who was working the line, he was we were getting to the end. He's like, okay, guys, you're almost there. Keep it up. You'll be in the house in like 15 minutes. He was saying, look, I've never seen lines like this. This is ridiculous. So
yeah. They had to open the ET queue.
Yeah, we had to go all the way through the ET line.
Not through the woods, but...
No, not. They probably extended it that, but...
yeah.
Then we had to go through Woody Woodpecker's playland. We had to go down this fence. We had to go through a service road and then into the house.
Over the river.
Yeah.
And through the woods.
Yeah.
And we didn't even see Grandma.
All right, so if you're going to go, the Walking Dead house is location H, which is right after the Simpsons area. Oh, no, I'm sorry. After the Walking Dead RV campout area, you're almost there. You go to the right. And it's right before you hit the Simpsons area, so it's right there. You know, it's tucked away in that corner, right by the ET ride, okay?
But there's maps in the front.
Yeah, yeah.
That doesn't help.
And then, if you do make it, go to the Evil Dead house second, because that is the second busiest house of the park. When we were in there, it was a 60-minute line. No, yeah, 45-minute line. And then they kept extending the line area, so we ended up getting stuck in there for like another 20 minutes. That is location D, right by Revenge of the Mummy.
Now, I have a little sort of apology to do here. I shot the entire Walking Dead house with my old-ass night vision camera. I thought it'd be really cool to show you guys, but it's so old. There's something wrong with the record heads or the play heads. It's all choppy. It's just completely useless. I also walked through there's no scare zone. It's all just zombies for the most part through the park. That footage is useless too.
Yeah, it's all, everything outside is all Walking Dead related. You know, like they've got the barn from the end of one of the seasons, you know, and stuff like that. It's all Walking Dead related. Now, let's start talking about the houses, okay?
All right.
What we've got is Havoc 2 Derailed. Now, I personally was looking forward to this house because that was one of the houses we saw in 2010 for 20 Years of Fear. That was Havoc Dogs of War. This is a sequel house, and I believe the first sequel house they've ever done. I was looking forward to it. What happens is the Dogs of War are trying to be transported by train. That goes wrong. And they all break loose. And they just, Dave, everything was a threat. So they just started killing everybody.
If you remember 2 years ago, the HR Blood and Guts, it's the same area.
Yeah. I really liked that house. What did you think?
That's kind of cool. Yeah. I always liked the house with the tunnel.
Okay.
It's only 8 o'clock at night. We've been real productive. We've hit 3 houses that are all next to each other. Right now we're in line for Afterlife, Death's Vengeance. This is a house about a serial killer who died, and all his victims have been waiting for him to get revenge. So we're gonna see what that's like.
That was cool. That was where you need the glasses, and it probably is what it feels like to be drunk. Going to there.
Now the concept of that house is it's a 3D house, and Bobby the Blade, who is a serial killer, has gotten the electric chair, and it's the transition to the afterlife. Now it explains in the guide that his victims are waiting in the afterlife, but it seems that that's not what happens in the house. And we'll get to heavy spoilers later.
Yeah.
But I thought the 3D effects were really cool.
Definitely. I always like the 3D effects.
Yeah.
They're pretty simple, but they work.
Yeah. I do think that ever since 20 Years of Fear, ever since the in-between, we're probably going to see a 3D house in that location every year.
Probably.
Yeah. It's the same house with the tunnel.
Yeah.
All right. Urban Legends, La Llorona.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me a little bit too much of Lady Luck, which I was not all that interested in.
Okay. I liked it. It's old Mexican locations. You know, like you're going through like this really old school church. Like it looks like it was built in the 1800s. And the whole concept is like, it's this Mexican urban legend of this lady who drowned her kids, and she couldn't even go to the afterlife. Like she had to like haunt the earth forever and like look for her kids and look for other victims and stuff. So that's why it reminded us of Lady Luck, because you see her popping up several times.
Yeah, it's the same character all over the place.
Yeah.
Although she didn't have that annoying scream of Lady Luck.
I thought the theme was really good, though.
That's interesting. I think they did it once in like Hollywood or something.
Yeah, this is another throwback house, because like it was either last year or 2 years ago, in Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood, they had a house for this, and now we've got the house. Oh, by the way, Afterlife's Death's Vengeance is location F near the MIB ride, just in case if you ever go. All right. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the Evil Dead house.
All right.
Besides the fact it's the second busiest house.
Yeah, and it's also another thing that those are movies I never saw. I never saw the original or the original sequel, and I didn't see the remake. So
you might like the originals.
Yeah.
The originals are not that gory, and it's got a little bit of comedy to it. I mean, they're definitely horror movies.
Yeah.
But they're not that hardcore horror movies. It's, you know, they're kind of fun, you know, and that's why I've yet to see this one. I'm going to.
So do you know if this is based on the remake or the original?
This is a remake. So basically, it's basically like the original, except it's a little more modern and a lot more gory and not so much.
I mean, the house. Is the house based on the...
Oh, no, the house is based on the new one,
okay.
The 2013 version. Okay. I really like the props in this house. They've got, like, giant pages from the Necronomicon, which I thought were...
kind of interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. Like, then you go through the house, you got, like, little 8mm film strips hanging around, you know, and that's all part of the new movie. Okay, and we'll get back to that for heavy spoilers.
Yeah.
And the last one we're going to talk about for minor spoilers is Cabin in the Woods.
Which seems like an interesting movie. I didn't see it.
I am going to be watching that. I do know that it's sort of Shaun of the Dead-like in the manner that it's funny and lighthearted, but then it slowly builds up to like really hardcore, serious horror movie areas. Like the end of the movie gets like super hardcore. But if you like a little bit of comedy in your movies, then yeah, you should check it out. Okay, that's about it. We can start getting into heavy spoilers unless you...
Well, I thought that this year's Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure was awesome. It was really a really good year. I did see on YouTube last year's, it was okay.
Yeah.
But I guess we can put that in the spoilers as well. But
yeah.
Just, you know, typical whatever was hot that year in pop music and pop culture. There wasn't as much excess dancing this year, which is nice.
Yeah.
Sometimes they go a little too far with that, but there's a lot of really funny stuff in there.
Yeah.
And as a bonus, we got to not meet the guy, but we went to. I hope that snoring doesn't show up. There's a dog right at his foot, and she's snoring really loudly. We went to the Hard Rock right before going in the second time, the second night, and
one of the managers
knows the guy who does the lighting for Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure, and we were going on about how awesome the lighting is. And this year is just the same. It's the lighting is one of my favorite parts of the show, and it's really well done. The only thing I didn't like is I don't know what the reason was, but when we went, the right side of the stage seemed to kind of lack fog and couldn't see the beams as well, but other than that, I mean, it's always really awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, I really had fun watching Bill and Ted's show this year, and it personally for us, like before we saw the show that night, like we were talking about like several things that came up in the show. Yeah.
We were sitting we were in Margaritaville the first night. Like Taylor Swift came on the TV, I think, or something like that, And then somehow we talked about Sharknado and and then talked about the, you know, What the Fox Say song. I'm like,
yeah.
all these random things. Suddenly there it is in the show.
Yeah. All right, now let's.
And also, this is your first time in the Transformers ride.
Yeah.
And for the Simpsons area, this is the second time I've been to that Simpsons area. Actually, no, I did finally go into Moe's. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I won myself a little Krusty doll. So hopefully it's not going to get lost in the key. So here we go. Hey, hey! So this was on our dashboard the whole time.
Yeah.
Kind of like Jesus, but, you know, Krusty.
Yeah.
So,
he was guiding our journey to Orlando. Yes. All right, now, ready for heavy spoilers?
I think so.
All right. Now, if you're going to go and you don't want to hear like really heavy spoilers, stop watching now. This is the last of the video. If you're not going and you just want to hear it, okay, here we go.
Here we go, everybody.
All right, Havoc 2 Derailed, not much to spoil except for like,
No.
you know, if you weren't there in 2010, the basic concept of the house is like there's these super soldiers and they just kill anything in their path. It doesn't matter, like, friend or foe, they don't know. You know, they just, you know, kill things. Yeah. And so, like, you're in a train and, you know, like, there's lights going off and people popping out at you. It's a cool house. I liked it.
Yeah. There's a few times it's, like, you're really narrow.
Yeah.
Which was the one that you had to, like, crawl under? Oh, that was the Walking Dead one.
Yeah.
That was a little weird.
Yeah, The Walking Dead has this, like, one little short spot where you got to, like, duck down and, like, go through, like, this, like, little tunnel. The Walking Dead... I don't watch the show, so I didn't recognize a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah, I've never seen it either.
But
I think Inside the Magic has a walkthrough of it.
Yeah, Inside the Magic has a lights on, not lights on. It's the house is running, but they've been allowed to film and have their lights on the camera, and they didn't have to be discreet about it. You know, so like if you look that up, Inside the Magic got to shoot like every single house this year. And the Rocky Horror Show, except for Bill and Ted. For whatever reason, Orlando's really hardcore about not letting Bill and Ted get online. But, you know, if you're very curious and you can't make it, every single house has a walkthrough and the entire Rocky Horror Show is up. If you watch The Walking Dead, you'll recognize a lot of things. The zombies look good to me. You start in Woodbury, and you make your way to this derelict prison, and when you're there, the place is overrun with zombies, the cells are open, the alarms keep going off, and it's a pretty crazy scene. And I've asked, since we came back, I've asked people who watch The Walking Dead about, okay, what's up with this, what's up with that? You know, they're like, oh, well, that was the end of this season, that was the end of that season. Yeah. You know, like, in the Street Experience, there's like a barn, the barn is on fire, and there's zombies running around. That was like the season finale of one of the seasons, and there's like this fat zombie that had been pulled out of a well, and somebody explained they were living on this farm, and they had well water so they could survive, and a zombie fell in the well, and because he couldn't die, he's a zombie, he's just sitting in the water getting all bloated, you know, and tainting up the water, so they had to like pull him out, and he's all like, bleh. You know, and
yeah. Well, it must be a very popular show because didn't they do The Walking Dead last year?
Yeah.
We didn't get to go. So.
Walking Dead is like one of the biggest shows on TV right now, and that's why everybody wants to go into the Walking Dead house. So like, yeah, if you go in there first. Because even if you're online for like an hour and a half, then you can do whatever you want. You know, you're not pressed for time. All right. Yeah. Not much to spoil in Urban Legends La Llorona. Except for like, you know, there's like a scene where you walk across a bridge, you see like the bodies of the dead kids in the water.
Oh, yeah.
And you see her popping up. I couldn't get to see it right away, but like there's like a cool effect towards the end where there's a mirror and you see her like looking through the mirror and then like the image goes away and you just see a mirror.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that when we were walking out.
Yeah. And then Afterlife Just Vengeance. What I wanted to spoil, in the guide it says his victims were waiting for him in the afterlife, but my interpretation when I was going through the house, he keeps popping up. But he looks like really powerful because now he's, you know, a supernatural being. So like you see him and he's all huge and like there's like chains and stuff, you know, like dangling down, and he's laughing. He's like, ha 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 ha, now I've got you.
Yeah.
You know, so it looks like, oh, and then in the beginning of the house, like when he's in the chair, he says, okay, any last words? He goes, it was fun, and I do it again. You know, so it looks like when he goes to the afterlife, he's like, oh, now I get to really have some fun. So, yeah, that house is always a great location. Yeah. You know, always try to hit the area F if you can. You know, they've got that spinning tunnel, which is always cool, and it's a 3D house, and the 3D effects are really good. Okay, anything to add?
Not really. It did just overall. This year, this is the first time that, I don't know about you, but I wasn't really completely startled. It was a bunch of little like minor scares.
Yeah.
Like the first 2 years, we like both of us. Someone got us, popped up and got, ah!
Yeah.
And like it was only once. This time, it was just like, you know, a bunch of times. So
well, you know, this is our third year. We're used to, you know, the whole way it works, and you know. Oh, I want to talk about spoilers for Evil Dead. I sort of mentioned it before. They've got pages from the Necronomicon from the modern movies. So like now it's got like other editions written over, like leave this book alone, don't read this, you know, this book is evil. If you're a fan of the original movies, you must remember there's a root cellar, and then somebody gets stuck in there. There's a demon, you know, trying to pop out of there. That is there, of course. One of the main rooms is this nice big room with a living room, and you see the cellar door. There's that female demon popping out, like you know, and and the 8mm film strips are, of course, from the movie where, you know, he digs up the Necronomicon, and there's a film strip of the original guy studying it who unleashed the evil on the woods, and yeah, that was a really cool house, and that's why it's the second busiest. And Cabin in the Woods, the heavy spoilers for that, if you are a fan of the movie. A lot of monsters from the movie show up in this house, including the what looks like the Cenobite, or if you don't know about that, one of the guys from the Hellraiser movie series. I don't think it's actually one of them. It looks like a combination of a couple of them. He's holding a sphere thing that looks like the puzzle cube, and he's got like the saws in his head, looks like the CD head from the actual movie. They've got the ballerina. They've got that family that wears the masks. They've got that clown.
Oh, yeah.
They've got like the little chemistry sign, and of course they had to put this in. The elevator area is there. I was so proud that they did that. You don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
That's at the end of the movie, and heavy spoilers for the movie. All hell breaks loose, and the concept of the movie is that there's this containment area that actually houses ghosts and demons and mythical creatures that we know from folklore. They're actually exist, and they're kept in these cells in this area that's underneath this, like, it just looks like a cabin that's out in the woods someplace, and it's kind of hard to get to there, and it's a pretty funny scene. That's why I say it's like a mix of comedy and horror, because there's a SWAT team, and then there's like a elevator room of like 6 elevators, 3 on each side, and they all ding at the same time, and someone goes, oh, and all these monsters just swarm out and just rip the SWAT team to pieces. It's on YouTube. It's a great scene.
No, it's in a trailer.
Yeah, okay, sure. So that's not that heavy of spoilers, and you go there after that happens, so like there's blood all over the place. There's a zombie eating a corpse. The elevator doors open up, and you know, like I think the clown comes out of one. The ballerina.
Oh, yeah, okay, I remember that. Yeah.
I think the ballerina comes out of another one, and then there's like one that looks like I don't remember her name. The girl from The Ring, you know, like that comes out of the TV with the hair all in her face, and you know, Somebody speculated that Universal put in a couple other monsters just for fan service, and people agreed. So I think the Girl from the Rain is included. I know the guy who looks like he's from Hellraiser is part of the movie. I know the clown looks like he's Jack from Halloween Horror Nights, but it's not Jack, I don't think.
No, he didn't have that face.
Yeah. There was a clown.
Jack is different.
Yeah, in the actual movie, there's a security camera. There's like a clown going right in the camera, So, yeah, if you can go this year, I do recommend that you take the money and time, because this was a great year to go. A lot of really great houses. I think I said in night one, there's 1, 2, 3. I didn't even talk about Resident Evil.
Resident Evil.
I know, I did in the first night. Yeah, but Resident Evil is like another really great house, and all the houses are really great this year, so yeah.
And this is something that I didn't play the games and I didn't see the movies, so looks like I'm out again.
Yeah. But if you played the games, it's all based on the games, you'll definitely get some nostalgia. Nemesis is running around in there, like you encounter him like 3 times, just like you do in the game.
Oh, you just lost it.
Oh, yes I did. Yes I did. And there's this I think I mentioned it in night 1, but there's this really great room where it's just a sculpture, and it's a tyrant, chasing Leon, and it says paused, and it like all the Leon's trying to like shoot a tyrant, and he's like falling, and it says game paused. That was a really cool scene.
Yeah.
When you first go in the Resident Evil house, you see Leon, standing on a cop car shooting another cop zombie.
Oh, yeah.
So definitely a lot of good things to see this year.
Yeah.
So what do you want to add?
No, honestly, we live about 3.5 hours each way from Orlando.
Yeah.
But I want to go back on Halloween night so badly this year. I really, really want to do it.
Yeah.
But I know I shouldn't because it's really far, but damn, I want to go.
Yeah.
So, if you're lucky, you live closer, or if not, if you, for whatever reason, haven't gone yet, it's a good year to go. So, that's about all I have for now. So hopefully you like this video. Please share the video. This is ad supported, so please consider clicking on an ad, or at least liking it.
Yeah.
So hope to get the Halloween Horror Nights 24 next year, and that's about it. So.
All right.